The question often comes whether in the Incarnation the Son of God set aside or abandoned his divine attributes in taking on a human nature. And I think the scriptural answer to that is no. The text that is often used in this regard is Philippians chapter 2, the great Christological passage that speaks of the Son who is in the very nature or form of God. Did not consider that to be clung on to. There's a number of issues of translation there, but he made himself a nobody, and the word there is the word for empty. This emptying opened up a whole debate as to what the Son of God, who's in the very nature God, the eternal Son, emptied himself of in taking on a human nature. Well, it's very important to see that in the text speaks nothing of losing or setting aside divine attributes or a divine nature. Rather, it speaks of the incarnation as addition, so that the Son of God, who is very God, adds to himself a human nature, and that is what is going on in him making himself a nobody, humbling himself in incarnation and humbling himself even to death on a cross for our salvation. So this text does not speak of setting aside divine attributes. Instead, it speaks of adding a human nature. In addition to that, not only does no text of Scripture speak this way, but theologically, this is an impossible concept if we think rightly about who God is. For the Son of God, who shares with the Father and the Spirit the divine nature, he shares and is God equal with the Father and Spirit, all of the attributes of God. He cannot set aside any attribute. All of God's attributes are essential to him. None of them are attributes that he can set aside for a time and take up again. That makes no sense of what God is as God. And it would also affect the Trinitarian relations. It's almost impossible to think of the implications that this would have for the doctrine of the Trinity. So for a moment or for a period of time, the Son does not have something that the Father and Spirit share in which he had before. There would be no God-equal nature of the Son with the Father and Spirit, which is not what Scripture teaches. It's not certainly what the Church has affirmed. So in the Incarnation, we have to say that the Son of God has added to himself a human nature. He is fully God, fully man. He is God the Son, who has become incarnate for us and for our salvation.